2024, I posted a video on TikTok that got 6.8 million views, 882,000 likes, 20,000 comments, and 87,000 saves. And I literally made $0 from it. Not $100, zero. Literally nothing. And for the longest time, I thought I just got unlucky, that the algorithm hated on me, that the views were what creators call now low quality. All the excuses we tell ourselves when our numbers don't translate into actual money. But 2 years on, after running content for a creator doing literally over $50,000 a month in sales, now building an AI SaaS platform around exactly this problem, I finally understand what actually went wrong. And the answer isn't one thing. It's 7 specific structural gaps that turn 6.8 million views into $0. And this video is part 1 of an 8-part series where I'm going to be walking you through every single one of them. Before we start, you need to understand something. This isn't a go viral and you'll make money video. This is the complete opposite. It's the video I wish someone had handed to me 3 years ago when I was sitting there literally refreshing my analytics page, wondering why nothing was converting. And over the next 8 videos in this series, you're going to get the complete diagnostic. Video number 1 is the overview, so it will be all 7 gaps explained. Videos 2 through 8 each do a deep dive on one specific gap, and by the time you've watched the entire series, you'll know exactly which of the 4 monetization archetypes you are, which gaps are killing your revenue, and exactly what to fix first. So let me actually deep this for a second. Gap number 1 is what I like to call the mechanism gap, and it's the single most underdiagnosed problem in the entire creator economy. Here's what it is. Attention and revenue aren't connected by default. They have to be connected by a mechanism, and most creators don't have one. They just post content and literally hope. They think that the algorithm will somehow turn into views, into customers, when actually the algorithm is doing exactly what it's designed to do, which is keep people on the platform. It doesn't care about your business. The mechanism that turns attention into revenue is something that you have to build separately. It's a tripwire offer, it's a lead magnet, it's a DM keyword, it's a link in the bio that does actual work. And when I posted that 6.8 million view video, I had none of those things. Like, my profile literally had no bio yet. Literally those 3 words, no bio yet. That was it. No link, no offer, no email list, just an account that had 6.8 million people scroll through and left. And if this is hitting you right now, if you ever had a post do well on your Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, but you didn't capture any of that attention into anything you own, you're probably what I call the ghost. And I'll come back to what that actually means at the end of this video. Gap number 2 is the identity gap, and this one is more of a psychological one than a structural one. People don't follow creators, they follow identities, they follow archetypes, they follow versions of themselves that they want to become. And when you go viral with a video that has no identity attached, the audience that arrives doesn't know who they are actually trying to relate to. They don't know if they're your peer, your student, your customer, or just a random person who liked a video. And that usually means that they never commit to following you in a meaningful way. They follow the account, but not the actual person. Within a month, you've lost 90% of the viral audience entirely. If your content is getting views, but new followers aren't engaging on your next post, this is probably your gap. Gap number 3 is the audience buyer gap. This is where most creator monetization advice gets it completely wrong. There's a massive assumption in the creator economy that if you build a big enough audience, money just shows up. It doesn't, because audiences are not buyers. Audiences are people who consume your content for free. Buyers are people who pay you for something. Those are completely different psychological commitments, and you have to engineer the transition from one to the other. It doesn't happen automatically, and the fix is to monetize from day one with, for example, a $7 micro offer that establishes the buyer relationship early. You have to train your audience to be paying customers from the start, not consumers who get asked to pay later. If you have a growing audience and you've never actually ask them to buy anything, you're probably what I call the content hoarder. Let me pause here, because if you've made it to the 30% mark of this video, you're already in the top 10% of creators who actually want to understand this stuff. Most people scroll past long form diagnostic content. You're watching because you want to actually fix the gap between your content and your revenue. And that means that the next 4 gaps are gonna land for you in a way that they wouldn't land for most. So just stick with me for the rest of this. Gap number 4 is the offer gap. This is usually the simplest one, but also the one creators avoid the longest. You cannot generate revenue if you do not have an offer, but the number of creators with 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 followers who don't actually have an offer is mind-blowing to me. It's fucking amazing. And they tell themselves that they're building authority or they're growing their audience first, but really they're actually scared to put something up for sale and have it not sell. That fear costs them everything, because the longer you go without an offer, the more your audience calibrates around this person that posts free stuff, and breaking that calibration later it's way harder than starting out. So the play is to make any offer, literally any, a $7 prompt pack, $12 cheat sheet, $17 mini guide, whatever it is, just get it up, validate it, iterate without an offer. Literally viral views are completely worthless because there's nothing for them to convert into. Gap number 5 is the conversion gap. This is literally what happens between someone seeing your content and someone giving you money. And it's not one step, obviously. It's like 7 steps. They see your post, they tap your profile, they read your bio, they tap the link, they land on the page, they read the page, and then they decide whether to buy. And at every single one of those steps, you can lose them. But most creators only think about step 1, the content. They don't think about steps 2 through 7. So even if their content goes viral, the rest of the funnel leaks. When I looked at my analytics from that 6.8 million view video, the click-through to my bio was something like 0.2%. And from those bio clicks, there was nowhere to go. So if you've launched an offer before and it sold a few times, then stopped, you're probably what I call the failed launcher. And the conversion gap is usually the reason why it didn't work. Gap number 6 is the distribution gap. And this one's gonna upset some people. I don't really care, to be honest. Virality is not a distribution strategy. You cannot build a business on randomly going viral. You can build a business on consistent, controlled distribution to a specific audience. And the difference is literally everything. When I went viral, I didn't have a way to actually recreate it. I didn't know which variables produced the hit. I didn't have a system for capturing the attention before it disappeared. And within 3 weeks, the entire 6.8 million views had basically vanished. Those people I literally moved on, my account was back to its baseline. I mean, I had a few thousand more followers and I had nothing to show for it though. If I compare that to a creator who has an actual controlled distribution system, they post, they capture the attention into an email list, and then they nurture that email list with a sequence. They then convert a percentage of their email list from that sequence into actual buyers, and then they do it again the next week. It compounds. See, virality is it's lottery. It is. Consistency is how you actually win. Predictability. And gap number 7 is the memory gap. This is the most subtle one, but the most damaging long term. Virality has no memory. The algorithm doesn't actually remember whether you went viral, how many views you get. It doesn't remember that shit. Even if 6.8 million views watched your video, by next week, 99% of those people could not tell you what the creator's name would be. 99% couldn't tell who the fuck I was. They probably see me on the street and they wouldn't even recognize me. So the only way to actually build persistence is to capture the attention into an asset that you actually own. For example, an email list, even an SMS list, a community, a paid product, something that exists outside the platform's memory. So if you're already at $500 to $2,000 a month and you can't figure out how to break past that ceiling, you're probably what I call the stuck scaler. And the memory gap is usually why you keep starting from scratch every time the algorithm shifts. So that's the 7 gaps: the mechanism gap, the identity gap, the audience buyer gap, the offer gap, the conversion gap, the distribution gap, the memory gap. And if you're sitting there going, well, how many of these am I in? The answer is probably 4 or 5. And that's normal. Most creators are in at least 4. They probably won't admit it, but there are 4 or 5. But here's what you need to understand. These gaps don't apply to everyone equally. Depending on where you are in your creator journey, different gaps are doing different amounts of damage. And that's why I built literally this 2-minute diagnostic quiz that tells you exactly which one of the 4 types of stuck creator you are, whether you're the ghost, the content hoarder, the failed launcher, or the stuck scaler. Each archetype has 2 to 3 specific gaps that are killing the most. And once you know which one you are, you can stop guessing about what to fix first. Again, the quiz is completely free. It's 7 questions. It takes you 2 minutes, and it takes longer to score on Instagram than it does to figure out exactly why you're not making money from your content. So the link is in the description below. It's in the pinned comment too. And there's also a $17 toolkit specifically designed for whichever stuck type of creator you are. But the diagnostic itself is completely free. You'll know exactly where you stand in literally 2 minutes. Now, in video 2 of this series, we're gonna go deep into gap 1, which is the mechanism gap. How to actually build a system that connects your content to your revenue when you've got no team, no funding, no idea where to start. It's the single biggest unblock for creators who are stuck under $1,000 a month. So click the playlist link in the description to watch it next. If it hasn't been released, it will be released next week, or hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. Take the quiz first and then watch video 2. If it's not out already, just hit that subscribe button.